You gotta give it a little buffer, right?
Yeah, usually like.
It was like 20 seconds, Tony.
20, all right.
All right, go now. No,
I'm gonna start in a few seconds.
Yeah, it's on.
got it.
We're good.
All right.
We're good, Don.
Good evening. Welcome to Batyards Finest, bringing you the finest Batman, Superman, pop culture, anime, gaming, movies, music, whatever the fuck we're feeling any given week. My name is Tony, and with me we have Mateo.
What's up?
Going in order, it's Tony, Mateo, Josh, and Jerry. And this week is my selections. We're watching the pilot of Trigun, and we're already getting calls for the four squares. The people do not
We're
like
not
this
doing
format.
the 4 squares.
but yeah, we're starting with well, my selections this week were Trigun, like the pilot of the anime from the 90s, and
Oh
the film
shoot! I
Good
watched
Time.
the new one.
Oh really?
No, I'm
Oh
joking.
no. Okay, you're fine. Okay, I didn't even know the new one came
Crispy,
out
you
yet, so that's
dick.
good.
I'm joking. No, I actually watched it to compare the original to the new one, see what the differences are.
That's good. But first we're gonna start with some pop culture. Anyone in the form of BSBS, where we just talk about whatever the fuck BSBS.
I have news immediately, actually.
Oh
Okay.
god,
Before
I'm scared.
Crispy can take it away.
Wait, what?
So, as I'm sure some people know, the creator of Rick and Morty came into some trouble. We're not going to talk about what he was doing, but Adult Swim has cut ties with him and is going to continue on with the show without him.
I knew
Are
that
they
was
going to
gonna
use
happen.
the other guy? What's his name? Dan
I think
Harmon?
so, yeah.
That's gonna be. I saw that and I was very curious. It's like
I heard
makes
he
sense
did.
if
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
if he's like a writer. That makes sense, but he's also like voicing one of the main characters. I'm not saying that. Like I don't think there is like a.
He's voicing both of
Both
them.
of
Yeah,
them.
what are
It's
they?
both
What
of
are they
them.
gonna do?
Yeah, he voices Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
he literally
really? I
talks
didn't
to
even think of
himself
that.
the whole time. That's his job, is to just talk to himself, and then he voices other people in the show.
I have been. Oh, go
He's
ahead.
most of the
Josh,
cast.
No, I heard Dan Harmon did some like shady shit too. Like I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a lot of stuff that's kind of coming out right now.
His
I know I've been seeing like other people do like Morty's voice at least, and it is so spot on. You'd never be able to tell the difference.
That's good. Yeah, Harmon's stuff was like not illegal, but it was definitely like morally not correct, and he apologized for it. So it was like, you know,
I don't even remember what it was. I just remember I read it.
he was like hitting on. He was a showrunner for a Community, and he was like hitting on like one of the people that was working on the show.
That's what it was.
Like a lot, and like
yeah.
But yeah, I saw that today too, and I immediately was like, "Good thing that they're cutting ties with him." But what the fuck is happening to this show?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do to the show now that they're cutting him from his own project.
Yeah,
like I have faith that it'll still be good, but just as far as what direction they're gonna go with the story is what most concerns me.
I give it 2 seasons.
I give it
2 seasons.
I'm gonna give it 3.
I was done with the show anyway, but I'm very, very curious.
Last season
I wasn't really into either.
I don't know, I felt like last season kind of picked it back up again, like a little bit more than like the other one. But like we're still in like, for spoilers out there who hasn't got caught up yet with Rick and Morty, we're still in hot pursuit after like the Rick of the freaking universe, and Rick is wasting his time trying to find him than really actually doing any of the missions. So that's what's happening. He's trying to actually do endgame stuff. Like he's doing his like setup to finish this fucking thing up. Like his real plan. But I don't know. It's just like, to me, I think it's gonna be maybe 1 or 2 seasons. and that's it. They cut it off because basically that Rick is in the same universe as that Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can do portal, and nobody can change universes either. So other than our Rick that we follow as of the moment now.
Jesus. A rectangle is a box. It's just very elongated.
Yeah, right.
I guess I have BSBS. I have a couple personal BSBS things. Just like media that I'm finally getting to that I'm super excited about.
Yeah,
I also have one small one, but it's not like super important. It can like go last.
I just got God of War Ragnarok and it is amazing. I'm a couple months late, but it's so fucking good.
Hey,
but
there's nothing wrong with being late to the party.
It's a long Ragnarok.
No, the game God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, I thought you said Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Two different things.
It's good. I don't know.
Tony, take your time. Take your time. Don't run. Just literally walk around, flip every fucking rock you can do. Anything you can get your hands on, like just that adds to your character build for your like your setup because like seriously, I got to like parts where like I couldn't fight things until I maxed out certain things or got certain armor levels, like armor sets that max out my levels. It really sucks.
I remember when I finished God of War 1, which was also this year, I showed my friend my build, and he was like, "You have like no health." He's like, "You should fight the harpies, but like you need to like play this game again and get health."
The harp? Oh, you mean the
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie.
They're the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
He was like, you should do that, but you cannot do that the way it looks now.
I never went back for those bitches. I left it alone. I fought one. I was like, I made mine for strength and brute for that one. No, and this one. I like the freaking the Blades of Chaos. So like I use them the whole time in a certain weapon that we get later on. Dude,
what's up, Oink?
Wait, guys,
I was trying to make him sit in the chair. It didn't work.
Oh god.
I mean,
another thing is I finally finished the Berserk anime and I'm like reading it now and I'm like very into it.
Yes!
Yes! I'm gonna
oh my god.
That's somewhere on my which one? Which one? The
97.
Of the 90s? Okay.
Yes!
I thought you were sneezing at first.
No.
I'm just,
the thing is like Jerry
is the 97 one not peak Berserk?
It's pretty fucking awesome. I don't know why a certain character was left out, but I will say, other than that,
crazy,
it's
right?
Yeah,
absolutely,
it's insane.
Like, and he's pivotal.
it is pretty fucking pivotal. The way they end that show is like, what the
fuck? Tony, save my number. Text me. Yes,
I will. Yeah, I'll let you know every time some crazy shit happens. I'll be like, yo.
All right, Tony. All right, Tony. Me and Jerry had this talk before. He's trying to get me in the freaking Berserk as well as of reading it. But the fucked up thing is I need physical editions, so I'm gonna have to buy the freaking $40 leatherback bitches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be wasting a lot of money on this if I do this.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. I read I have the first book and I'm not like one of those people. Like I usually like do not care what I read something on. It is so much nicer to read on the physical book.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is.
It's a lot better. But the thing is, like, I'm reading right now Goblin Slayer. It's basically everyone's like stating it as like the son of Berserk in a way, or like one of the offsprings. And so that's the reason why Jerry's more hell bent on me watching and freaking reading Berserk now.
It's the same fucking thing.
Is it really? Is Goblin Slayer that similar?
Goblin Slayer is kind of like it's not the same. It's like the same kind of like what's it called? Like stuff like gore, violence, all that stuff.
It's the same kind of dark fantasy.
Yeah. It's really dark, eerie. It's really gruesome at some points. Right now, I'm like I'm almost caught up with the the mangas. I think I just have volume 12 to purchase, and they still have chapters beyond 12 at the read afterwards. But it's a good characters in it. It's fun. It's everything. It even has the anime on Crunchyroll right now. If you ever want to check it out,
I've heard of the anime. I heard
you have to get past the first episode, but if you read Berserk, it doesn't fucking matter.
That's what I heard.
I'm joking. I'm really okay.
Yeah, I heard the first episode is a little.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't get any lighter after the few volumes of manga I've read of it. It doesn't get lighter on the situation. It gets even worse.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
You got any BS, Josh?
Yeah, I had two things. So the first thing I want to say is that they casted a new Lex Luthor for the CW Superman and Lois show.
Okay.
I guess it's a Walking Dead actor, Michael Kudslitz. I probably am saying that name wrong. I don't know anything about The Walking Dead, but I'm curious because from what I knew, they had another guy who in the CW universe playing Lex Luthor. I don't know. He's bald. He was in Superman 4.
Oh,
I forget his name.
That guy.
The bald guy.
How about the guy from
I think he'll be a pretty alright Lex Luthor. The guy from Walking Dead. I just looked him up. I've seen a couple episodes with him. He was pretty alright. I didn't hate his character.
Yeah, I gotta watch this show. I only watched the first episode, and then I just
I watched 3 episodes randomly, caught a season. I'm like, wow, this would be so interesting if I knew what was happening.
That's what happened to me.
I liked what I was watching. I just watched the first episode because Matt and I did it for the podcast, and then I just, I stopped because I was like, okay, I did it for the podcast, and move on.
Yeah, I remember one of my friends put it on where we're over their house, and I just watched it. I'm like, I'm in the middle of one of the seasons, and I fucking was falling asleep because I don't know, it's me didn't catch my eye, or they put the wrong episode on for me.
Well, you gotta start at the beginning.
They just threw it on somewhere. What?
Didn't we watch the pilot together?
Dude, I don't remember. I don't think we did.
What show is this?
Podcast, you penis.
I don't remember doing.
I was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember doing the podcast on that one.
Yeah, you stupid.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, let me see. I'm gonna look it up now.
Okay.
Let's see if we did an episode. I have one other thing while I look this up. I guess Jason Momoa is definitely cast in the new DC universe as something else. I'm assuming it's gonna be Lobo.
I've been seeing stuff about him being Lobo too.
Yeah, it hasn't been announced what exactly he's playing, but it is announced that he is.
We know what he is.
Yeah,
we know
what if they don't cast him for Lobo, and what if they casted him for Ghost Rider instead?
Well, that's a whole different universe.
That's a whole different universe.
Oh yeah.
They could do.
I recant that statement.
I'm actually surprised I actually hit the camera.
What I meant was, what if they cast Jason Momoa as what's the name of that fire demon? Aragon or something or another.
I don't know. I don't know that one. That you're losing me on that one.
Hold on. Let me look it up. Betrayed, the muscle show is for us to see because on our screen we have the 4 squares, but you don't.
Oh.
Josh's muscle show could be Lobo. I don't think I would be a good Lobo.
I think you'd be a kick-ass Lobo. Either you know what you could be, Josh? You could be Frank Castle's Ghost Rider. The Punisher.
That'd be interesting. The gritty. Okay. Interesting. Hey.
Yeah, this guy, Trigun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that guy's cool. Yeah. That demon.
Yeah, what if they cast Jason Momoa for him?
That'll be interesting. I doubt they're going to do that. I think they're going to do the more popular choice. And Matt, we did do a Superman and Lois fucking podcast.
So no. We know. I thought we were talking about freaking what's it called? The freaking Walking Dead, not Lois Lane. We're talking about Walking Dead. Yeah, you were talking about Walking Dead.
No, I wasn't talking about Walking Dead. I was talking about Superman.
That's what I thought we were talking about. Because I'm saying Walking Dead.
I was talking about Superman and Lois the whole time.
I know you kept saying Walking Dead.
I said the actor is from
That's
Walking
what was
Dead.
confusing me.
About Walking Dead.
That's what was confusing me. I thought.
All I said.
You mentioned it a bunch of times. Okay, I remember the Lois Lane. Yeah, we watched the pilot for Lois Lane, but I thought we were talking about.
That's what I thought you were claiming. Like you.
No, I thought you were talking about The Walking Dead.
No.
Because when I've been using his name, it's calling him Walking Dead.
No.
Okay.
Now that's cleared up.
Yes.
Matt, watch the show.
Do you have any BS,
we
Matt?
did a podcast.
We did do a podcast on Lois Lane, Lois Lane, Clark, whatever I did.
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois Lane.
Batman and Lois.
That's it now.
Yeah, Batman and Superman.
You got any BS, Matt?
I watched the Velma show.
Oh God!
Oh, was it? Is it that?
It was.
I had to see how bad it was. It's terrible.
It like as bad as
it gave me indigestion. Like after I watched that show, like my stomach was just so upset and in knots from how awful it was that I honestly wish I could remove. I wish I could regain the 25 minutes I spent watching that show.
So I watched all 4 episodes are out now. Today was supposed to drop another 2 episodes, but they didn't drop 2 episodes. So I have a feeling something's up, but at the same time, who fucking knows? It was supposed to be every Tuesday's a drop of 2 episodes, but we didn't get the newest 2 episodes. But
how about who cares?
I know,
but already got renewed for season 2.
But I
did hear about that.
I have a feeling they may rethink it now because we haven't got the newest fucking 2 episodes. So I think they're rethinking things, but I haven't checked since I got home from work. But
how many episodes have you watched? Are you
4 because I know I don't want to watch all of them, but I just want to see where it's located. Like everybody I've been listening to has been talking all kinds of different shit. So I try to see if they even dropped anything new today. They didn't. I only watched up this episode 4 because they're claiming that they're replaced Scooby with this girl named Gigi.
Gigi.
That was supposedly rumored is still claimed to be called Scooby at some point down the road, and to replace Scooby for a bit. But that's just rumors to me. But I just need the real. But and the beginning talk is that her name was originally supposed to be Scooby with an I instead of Y. And I was like, let me see if this girl shows up and her name's legitimately called Gigi or not. And it is called she is called Gigi, but I'm just like, the show is just garbage anyway. It's just the only thing that gives it like anything like special is like animation wise. There's certain spots where they actually do some pretty good like colorization and some kind of like changes of like its animation. But it's basically just another Family Guy bullshit thing that they did with Scooby-Doo that they shouldn't have done. And it's just like, I don't know. It's something. You just have to watch it yourself. It's just my review of it's not good. It just doesn't feel right. Jokes in it aren't funny. Certain things that happen are funny. And then like
Mindy Kaling should be fucking removed from the show.
That's Velma, and she's just gone.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
I only heard bad things about this show.
Oh no,
there's no redeeming qualities to the show.
No, there isn't. They literally dropped Velma from like being this like really good character to this really bad character. She actually eats food out of the garbage.
Prick.
She is. She actually eats food out of the garbage at one point, making and they made fun of it early in an episode how she would like all kinds of dumb shit and like it's a ride. It's a ride.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
No,
it's awful.
It deserves the rating. It deserves the rating it got from the audience.
The animation like looks like the Harley Quinn show. So like when I first
it
saw
looks
it,
really good.
Yeah, the animation
looks really is.
No, the animation looks pretty good, but like it's just like the writing and the character
The
design,
animation
like,
is a 10. Everything else is a fucking 1.
Yeah, it's just like everything else is like the story, like writing, characters, all in the like just nothing.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't even really like that Harley Quinn show, but like at least
I think it's fucking sick.
Oh, the Harley Quinn show is really great. They're
it.
doing Harley Quinn the best way they can to like work with all the audience, and how they progressed her was a lot better than just this show with Velma. It's just like yeah with everything they wanted to do.
Yeah.
No,
I think the one I haven't watched the Harley Quinn show in a while, but there's just one scene I keep seeing on either YouTube or TikTok where it's like she picks up a gun and shoots him, and he's like, "What does that do?" And she turns it over, and it says "cancer ray," and he's like, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
he's like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah, I remember that. She's it's tough, man. It's just the new season's just like what the fuck's happening, but it's good. It's good what the fuck's happening, but it's just like I think there's a part where Clayface just takes over for an actor he accidentally kills, and he's just running around for a whole. It's like a legitimate. No, it's what's his name? Billy. Wow. Nah, wow. I can't freaking finish this last name. Billy
Joel
Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton. He kills Billy Bob Thornton at one point, and he just takes up his role for like I think an episode or two to finish
Did
his
they
movie.
actually get Billy Bob Thornton in the show?
I don't think
like,
so.
Did they use
I don't
him?
think they did. I think they got the guy that just does his voice. I didn't look into it that depth. I love Elmo. That's what he said. That's what if you read comments.
Yeah, the Velma show looks terrible. The only way I would watch it is if like I did a video on it, and I don't want to do
Don't do it.
It's
don't.
torture. It's cruel.
I watched it so you didn't have to watch it.
And I watched it to see what. Well, we're out of sequential order, but
yes.
I watched it to see what Crispy was talking about, and it was so awful. Like it really was.
We need Scrappy to fix it.
I would honestly.
Well, they don't even have Shaggy.
I know what.
They don't even have Shaggy in it.
No, Shaggy's in it. It's just using his real name.
They're calling him Norval instead of Shaggy.
Yeah, but that guy isn't acting like I don't care they change the race to Shaggy, like that's fine and all. Like he doesn't even like act like Shaggy, you know?
No, they changed. No, they look. No, there's literally in the first episode where Shaggy is smarter than Velma, so Velma copies off of Shaggy's math homework and stuff. So that's like another joke. Like Velma's not the brightest person either, so it's like it doesn't make sense.
Dumb.
It's kind of dumb. It's a lot of things that are dumb.
He will be Shaggy later. What if he just takes drugs? He takes so much acid, and then he turns into Shaggy.
That's the thing that's hinted down the road that he will be taking a bunch of drugs because he does a lot of anti-drug jokes, hinting he's going to become a drug addict later. But the funny thing is, his dad is exactly the original, like, Shaggy with a more scruffier freaking goatee.
They got to develop the story. I mean, I haven't seen it. I just heard it's terrible. I don't know if Latreille is being ironic or if he actually really.
No, he literally likes it.
Okay. Everybody else says it's a flaming bag of
Yeah, everyone else. He's that one group of.
You're the one person I heard that.
He's the 0.0001% that likes it.
Yeah, literally. I want to just read this comment. I Talk Sports said Harley Quinn is being created the way she should have always been including the animated series from the 90s. I mean, the animated series
episodes.
Yeah, the animated series is like what I think of when I think of Harley Quinn is like that is the 90s animated Batman the animated series Harley Quinn. So that's like I don't know. But everyone has their own Harley Quinns. Yeah, I think
I would also like to read a comment from Ty Talks. Me personally, I think this is the perfect time for a Batman Beyond movie to exist. Just because Michael Keaton's the right age. You know, you could bring in a Terry McGinnis and you can completely redo a whole new Batman without giving the same old story like we usually do. And I think that it would be something good and different for the younger generation, especially.
No, I definitely think they should have made that movie. I think they still should. I think they saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Keaton's going to be what's it called? He's going to be in the Flash. Yeah.
That's so greenlit.
And I have just two small things to BS. So I watched the new Scream trailer for Scream 6. It looked pretty all right. I didn't hate it. But I was like, I haven't watched Scream 5 yet, but when I also heard about it, I'm like, why would you do a Scream 5? And it's been so many years later at this point.
Well, I heard it was like
what
a
else could you
reunion thing. It felt like it was like a reunion
because they brought back all the originals.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like it's just a reunion.
Wait, so is that out? Is that like streaming?
Scream 5?
No, it's coming soon.
With the new one or whatever.
Well, Scream 5.
What number are they on?
6.
They're on 6.
6 coming.
That's gonna be in theaters.
I think
yes.
I only seen the first Scream, and then that was it.
I saw Scream 1 and Scream 2.
I also just watched the trailer for. Well, I didn't watch it, but I saw it, and I accidentally skipped the ad for it because I thought it was something stupid. But they're making another Magic Mike movie. And I think J-Lo's gonna be in it, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ in heaven, I gotta see this one.
When you said,
let me get the advanced pre-release tickets, please.
When you said Magic Mike, I thought you were talking about that like Mike.
No,
where that kid gets Michael Jordan's shoes.
No,
but that's not what this is. Okay.
No.
Magic Mike are like strippers or something?
Yeah, they're male strippers.
Yes.
Okay. And so does J-Lo play a male stripper?
I think J-Lo's playing because she had a movie called like Hustlers or something, or she was in another show about female strippers, and I saw like a quick snippet somewhere asking if Channing Tatum could, outstrip, be a better stripper than J-Lo, and he was like, absolutely. And I believe him because I saw the first Magic Mike and I was like, oh, hey, this isn't too bad of a movie. Like, I wouldn't watch it again, but I was like, it was on TV.
Yeah, Latrey says J-Lo's a terrible actress, which I don't think that's why people like her. I think it's
I'm not.
Or
it's because of her huge ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was just gonna say it's how she looks.
She has the big backside.
Exactly.
What was it? Super Bowl 2019.
Oh yeah.
One of those years. That was her.
Yeah, no one was listening to her singing.
I didn't give a fuck about that song. I was watching The World Tuned In for one reason. But that's all the BS.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
I just remembered one more thing. The Harry Potter Legacy. People are going back and forth on that game, but I want to buy it when it comes out. I'm so excited
Harry
for
Potter
it.
is a piece of shit. It's the worst possible incarnation of wizards and magic in a fantasy setting. You don't have any of the usual stuff to make it interesting. None of the fucking wizards work out. So literally, you could go to Hogwarts, punch somebody in the spine, and snap it like a fucking glow stick. They're absolutely useless.
That's fair, but they said you can be evil as fuck as a student.
No, it's
Harry Potter Legacy.
Okay. So like, yeah.
So everyone's like, I'm gonna be the inspiration for Voldemort. Everyone's like, it comes before the Harry Potter story, so they're like, yo, I'm gonna be Voldemort incarnate before Voldemort.
What?
No. Look, no.
Yeah, they have a
right.
game like that too. It's called Skyrim, and it's cheap as fuck. It's been out for fucking 10 years.
Okay, but like, some of us like grew up on Harry Potter and fucked with it. I don't know. The games
up until the Goblet of Fire, and then I'm like, this shit is ass. I'm done.
Yeah, it felt off for me.
Yeah.
Goblet of Fire was like actually
all of their problems could have been fixed with a fucking gun and pointing it at somebody's head and pulling the trigger. I know that's really violent to say.
It is,
but I just like the whole shit. Like, oh, we gotta figure out a new spell. Like, how do we stop this villain? Point that gun in his head and pull that fucking trigger and watch his brain spill on the fucking floor.
But they got magic. They could Wingardium Leviosa the weapon.
You can't Wingardium Leviosa that bullet quick enough.
Yeah. They don't have the arm fortitude. Josh, how much do you bench? 340?
I don't know.
Josh said he benches 340. Josh can literally take that wand and break it over his fucking knee like a baseball bat. Tony, how much are you squatting? 280?
Me?
Yeah.
Not right now, but I was squatting 340.
Yeah, see, Tony's squatting 280. We could just go in, put him in a headlock, and choke him to death.
I wish
what the hell's happening?
340. I wish I could bench that. That would be one and done. Even if I don't even think I could do that.
That's awful, yeah.
God,
not fair.
No, but
I just hate Harry
the chat.
Potter.
The chat knows
Harry
what's
Potter
up.
is so stupid.
I like Harry Potter. There's like some movies I like more than others. The one I like the best is the time travel one. Which one's that?
That's the
Azkaban. Prisoner. Yeah, that was
they
like
have a locket that like puts you back in time.
It's
that's
like
and then they never use it again.
No,
I don't understand why they don't use it again.
That was like the bullshit thing they like. It felt like they added in the movie just to fix everything, but it's in the books. At least I believe it's in the books also. But like, it's so bullshit. Like, I had this the whole fucking time. We could have solved so many issues in the beginning of the movie, and then the rest of the series we could have done things.
Yeah, there's no like reason why they don't use it anymore. But that's the best movie. The Prisoner of Azkaban is the best one.
I kind of like. For me, it's 4 and then 5 for technically my ones I kind of enjoyed because they had like more. 4 is the Goblet of Fire.
Where's the Goblet of Fire? That was
like probably the best one.
That's the one Jerry hates.
Yo,
I hate the second one, the Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of
Secrets. Our main movies in Harry Potter 4.
Wait, what?
Did you know that? What? The star of our main movies in Harry Potter 4. Did you know that?
It was, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Robert Pattinson. Yeah. Goblet of Fire.
And then
that's like his debut, right?
That was his debut.
Twilight.
I think so. Yeah.
It was kind of shitty how they killed him off pretty. That's like his first introduction in the series, and they just kill him. Like, it's just fucked up.
Ty Talk Sports. I agree completely. Neville. Whifflebottom, or however the fuck you say his last name, turned into an absolute unit.
Oh yeah,
at the end of Harry Potter.
And then he actually looks good now.
Yeah, and then the end of the series, just him on the bridge, like,
Dude, he was doing some work and he was doing some cleanup work during that like last 2 movies.
Yeah,
Neville definitely.
He was a star. He was more of a star in the movie than freaking Harry Potter was.
Yeah, Harry Potter was off doing some mindfuck shit.
I wanted to read.
Fucking Neville was in the trenches.
I wanted to read this previous comment from Ty Talk Sports. Since we're in the era of superhero movies still, do you think we'll ever be a big budget movie with superheroes outside of MCU and DCEU?
I believe we will, but it's gonna have to be a studio that wants to pick up, that wants to pick up a hero that's not within the realm of those two, because there's still plenty of heroes like that out there. It's just a matter of somebody taking the risk to do it, number one, and then having to go through the process of casting, budgeting, finding a great script writer, because that's really the big selling point for the superhero movies is who they get to do the script.
That's the thing, like out of like the MCU and DC, I think the one that's been thrown around the most is like Hellboy. He was put out in 2 different.
Yeah,
like,
we had Hellboy and Spawn and
Spawn. I want
have
Spawn.
a Hellboy remake.
Yeah, the Hellboy remake we had.
Tank Girl. There's already.
We have The Boys too on Amazon, but like I don't know.
That's it works. They're The Boys.
I don't know if I don't know. I feel like it might be like a show thing.
It is a show thing, but like every episode,
I agree. That is more of a show thing.
But like every episode feels like it's really produced very well. So like,
yeah,
it's like like a short movie, like a short film every fucking time you watch it.
But the thing that makes me, I don't know. I feel like it might be less risky to make a season of a TV show than like $100 million show, like movie.
Oh yeah, because if a TV show sucks, it's not as big of a hole in the drain.
Except for if it's Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, and that's a bad idea.
I watched the first episode of Rings of Power. I thought it was okay.
I watched half.
It's not my favorite.
I got bored.
I thought it was all right.
I got bored.
That was like another thing that's trending of like last year how bad that was. Like,
did you know in Harry Potter 7 there's a deleted scene with Hermione?
Let's cut them off. Let's cut them off now. Let's cut them off now.
Let me tell you the scene. No. There's a scene. There's a deleted scene where you get to see Hermione's Heine.
I knew it. This is normal joke. God damn it! I knew it.
All right. On that note, I think I should pull us back on track.
Yes,
thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Take us away.
Okay, so for our intro, non-main event, little teaser, we got Trigun, the anime from the 90s. In preparation for the new show, which I'm a little excited about, and I think I'm gonna give this one to Jerry.
Perfect.
Thank God.
Because I have a funny story about this. I remember the pilot being very different, but I'll get into that after my synopsis.
Okay.
So, I will be Tony. Did this come out in 98 or 99? I can't remember.
That's a great question.
Because I always say 98, but I believe I'm mistaken.
It is not 2023. I don't want to look at Stampede. I'm probably 98.
98.
Yeah.
We'll stick with 98.
Yeah, it is 98. Yeah.
So so in the 1998 pilot for Trigun, not Trigun. We see, it opens up to a bar, and we see, 2 gentlemen talking and 1 man in a red coat, just having a drink, kind of making small talk, doing, just everybody minding their business like it's kind of, the true, Western. And then out of nowhere, the bar that they're in is just absolutely destroyed. And the only thing that's left is the man holding his drink, and he is being hunted by someone because they're looking for the infamous Vash the Stampede, the man with the 60 billion 00 bounty on his head. And then as the show progresses, we meet another bounty hunter, Luce Ruth or something like that. I always mess his name up. I know it's Ruth something. And then, we see a city that has been decimated by, a man with a giant boomerang.
Roadhog.
And basically, and then he tells his goons, like, go out and find Vash the Stampede, and if you try to talk back to me, I'll string you up and kill you. And then it cuts to the mayor of the town talking about all the destruction, but how there were no casualties, which was a very big surprise because Vash the Stampede usually leads a waking path of destruction wherever he goes. And then we meet 2 women, Meryl and Millie, who work for an insurance firm that come to make peace with Vash the Stampede because, absolute destruction of a town is a huge insurance liability, and they are like, hey, here's like a 6-pack of donuts, please take this as a token of goodwill, and please don't cause any more destruction. We can't afford these big payouts caused by your the negligence. And so they meet a man with a mohawk and a giant boomerang. They believe he is Vash the Stampede because of a rumor. And then the man with the boomerang meets the other bounty hunter, Ruth, and believes he is Vash the Stampede because he's blonde with a red trench coat. All the while, the true Vash the Stampede, who is a very thin and kind of squirrely looking dude, looks like he's done some drugs in his time.
Yeah.
He's running away, being real cowardly, trying to essentially save the peace and get the heck out of Dodge. And then and what else happened? Vash the Stampede meets the two insurance women. They are like, here's $10 and a donut, go warn the town to get away. Vash subdues both bounty hunters in a matter of minutes and does not cause any more destruction. And he thanks the women for their food because he was very hungry, and he goes on about his day. And then Millie sends out an insurance claim saying, pay all process all claims with full liability, other boring insurance words. And then she just kind of collapses from the exhaustion of a very rough day.
Mm.
So, Tony, the first episode that I remember about this, I remember Vash being butt-ass naked and barking like a dog for some dude.
What?
Tony,
what did you watch? You downloaded
hold on, wait a minute.
You downloaded the wrong episode.
Me and my
was
brother
getting
watched this when
Trigun.
we were kids, and we didn't know what Toonami was at the time. And so that was like the first thing we saw. So I always just attributed that as the first episode. And then seeing this, I'm like, that's weird. I definitely remember this dude being naked and barking like a dog. What's happening here?
I don't remember that happening in the show.
Is that real? Does that actually happen?
I'm sure it did.
I swear to God it happened.
Have you seen all this, Tony?
I have, but it's been a while.
How do you not remember it?
I don't know.
Oh God, Jerry downloaded the wrong video off of the wrong Toonami.
But this was actually like, I'm glad you recommended this, Tony, because I was like, man, I haven't watched Trigun in a very long time. Mm-hmm. And so just seeing this again, it brought back, a lot of nostalgia, because I remember that banging fucking guitar riff in the middle of the night. And I'm like, oh, what's this? I thought my dad was listening to one of his old records or something. And then I look over. Oh, what?
Were you watching on Toonami?
Yes.
Sorry, I had to say that joke before.
Trigun is another one of those old classics that I love to pieces, just because number one, of course, is I'm a big sucker for the 90s animation style. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's nothing to discredit, the animation studios who work very hard, today. But back then, when they were still hand drawing a lot of those animation cells and frames and doing you could tell they were doing the hand shading. Oh man, even you can see the lines in the rock sometimes in the shadow. And I'm like, why can't we go back to this? Well, it's impossible to go back to it because animation's gotten so much more cleaner.
True.
I wouldn't say it's impossible. People just got to start doing hand-drawn animation. It's just way cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
God, I like the faces. I like the faces in the older stuff, too. And this, I was, watching, I'm like, wow, there's you can see all the changes in the face, of him and everything. I was like, this kind of reminds me of certain, like Dragon Ball and, certain other older stuff. And I'm like, I like the vibe I'm getting from this. It's just so goofy and fun. Trigun and Big O.
Yes, absolutely.
What's Big O?
I'm not familiar with Big O.
I'm very familiar with Big O. It is another hand-drawn one. It came out in like the 2000s. Okay. So it was right at the cusp of the animation change. But if you like robots and having things get punched by big robots, it's essentially like it was Pacific Rim. Like this was Pacific Rim and Gundam before like not Gundam because Gundam.
I was gonna say Gundam's old.
Gundam's fucking old.
Gundam's fucking old as dirt.
Open condom style?
No.
Not open condom style.
No one's opening a Gundam.
But yeah, this is
Gungan style.
Yeah, this show. This is like one of the first. This is like when I was trying to get into anime. I remember talking to a kid in high school, and I was like, "Bro, I can't watch Naruto. It's like 400 episodes. I can't watch this show. Like, just give me something I can just get through." He was like, Trigun. And I started and stopped it so many times, and like it took me so long to finally get into it. But it's just such an amazing show.
I'm not gonna lie,
like,
it's
once it clicks.
It's a pretty fast show. I'm not gonna lie. I got like 4 episodes of the original series, and I'm just like, this is pretty quick. And I still love how nobody knows who he is yet in like the 4 episodes I've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just neglecting that he is legit him, and just like, you're not him. All right, let's go find the real him at one point.
Yeah.
I like how there's an insurance company that's trying to make him stop all these damages because it's costing them fucking money. I've been saying this for a long time. If I was in any kind of show, I would sue the balls off of somebody who threw my fucking car as a weapon or blew up my house. Like I'm sending the Telegram, Pony Express, whatever. Like you are paying for these damages, you hoodlum.
That's very true. They don't really address that too much, even in superhero movies and stuff.
Yeah. Like I know that's people say like that's such a weird thing to focus on. I'm like, but is it?
It is.
How many times have we seen like Captain America like boom crash land on your car? Well, I have to go to work, sir. And you just took my only means of transportation. So I'm suing you. What about when like fucking the Spider-Man, has to web your car up to stop a villain? Well, now I can't go to my doctor's appointment. Who's gonna reimburse me for this?
Don't forget the Hulk throwing just everything around your freaking neighborhood.
The Hulk is he's an insurance liability. He's a nightmare. They drop him.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Fucking Superman, Man of Steel, that shit just destroyed
this show. Does make you want to go back and like finish watching everything.
It is.
You mean like the whole
the whole series? Because I do remember some episodes more vividly than others.
When the show like near the end, like after, like in the middle, they do this like recap episode, which I hate recap episodes, but like I liked it before. Like I liked it before. It was like good. It's good. It's like villain of the week. But then after that, it's like boom, plot. It's like whoa, what the fuck? I like this. Like immediately, just like amazing.
Yeah, like and it's such like a huge shift too.
Yeah,
because then you start finding out the truth about him. And I'm like, what the? Why didn't you open up with this? This is like mind blowing.
Yeah.
So I have a confession to make, Tony. Remember when you asked me like, "Oh, how do you like this show?" And I was like, "Oh, I feel like I'm thrown in the middle of the series. I don't really know what's going on." I started on. I watched episode 26. So I was like,
you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself.
I was so confused, and I was like, Tony, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm thrown in the middle of this, and of course, I'm on like episode 26. I found out today. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta rewatch this show. So I watched the right episode today.
How did you do that?
And I was so confused. It's like, why does this feel like I'm in the middle of the season? I have no idea.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, the first episode does feel like also you would just get thrown into everything.
Yeah,
Because you don't
do.
That's why
explain
when you
But
said
anything.
it's not as
but-
confusing as watching episode
No.
26.
I bet, but like at the same time, like I was watching it and I was like, for the first time, I was like, why does it feel like I'm already just jumping into this already? But like, I'm like, I enjoy it though. It's kind of neat and the approach they took it. I'm not gonna lie, I watched the first episode of Trigun, the new series Stampede, and they take a whole different route of like actually going with the first episode because they actually try to give you character plot and other things in the beginning at least. I'm not going to spoil any more for Tony here because he hasn't started watching it, I believe. But like they have a different direction, and it's really weird. Like it's really strange. But like I was like I like that. I'm like I kind of liked how the first one went, the original, because I liked how goofy and weird it was. And then like later on, we're gonna get more serious later on. But like I'm like I kind of liked how he started off.
Stuff before it got heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, Crispy, you could say it was almost like One Piece with the goofy and seriousness.
Not technically.
Yeah, Crispy agrees. We're gonna go ahead and skate past that. So Tony,
what?
I'm not gonna lie. I started watching a little bit of the second one because I was just going back down memory lane, and I'm like, God, this is like all the visuals for it. I remember as clear as the first day I saw it.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you just see him moving around in like the opening with that big fucking 48 Magnum.
The one that's never loaded half the time.
Yeah, the one that's just he never shoots it like ever until the very end.
Like,
and then you always see like the fucking insurance chicks. And the one who has the fucking minigun that she just carries around like a standard pistol. And then the other one, she's like, her whole cloak is just, well, I'm spoiling a little bit here from that. But, you know, her whole cloak is just loaded to the brim with pistols that like a pirate. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is all just coming, this flooding back. Yeah. I'm like, I remember all of this.
And then when you get to Wolf, it's like,
oof.
We get to meet a wolf.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
What?
You'll see. Because I know you're going to keep watching it.
Yeah.
Crap. I really want to talk about like the little bit, like how I watched, like a little bit. One detail is with the show is like we got the insurance company. Then in like the new one, we have a newspaper company. I enjoy the insurance company a lot more than the newspaper company that they added in the new series because it feels a lot better. Like it just adds like a weird like the weirdness. There's the kookiness of everything. Like they're running around chasing with the insurance instead of just chasing. I get what they did with the newspaper thing because it's a lot more practical. Oh, we're keeping up with the date with this guy, but it feels weird. Like if I kind of like, I wish I like the duo that we have in the original than what we got in the new one because it's kind of weird. It's like it's a weird setup. I like how they're already established people, like characters, and like already like probably like 2-3 years probably in their job, and this is like a veteran guy, like a guy that's like been there for like 30 years, and then we got the new chick that just got there, and he's just like, oh, whatever, got a good thing. It's like weird. Tony, just you have to when you get a chance, just watch it. You're probably
I will. I didn't know there was already like 3 episodes.
The thing is, like, you'll be up to.
Started.
I think it would be like the second one probably is gonna be dubbed for at least next week, so you'll probably have like the 2 episodes for it. But the animation for it gives me vibes of like Dragon Ball superhero. That's what it gives me.
It reminds me of Cyberpunk.
I didn't watch
with
Cyberpunk,
how they have some of the characters dressed. Because like I've seen a little bit of the first one just for like a quick comparison. And I'm like, because I told you when I saw it, I'm like, how this new one is set up, the CGI looks good, but the clothes that they give Vash literally look like someone in the Cyberpunk Edge Runner show on Netflix, which is pretty good. I'm gonna use it as a future recommendation. I think it's a pretty all right show. Pretty all right. But it's like it is kind of weird though, because I'm not used to him having like the side cut taper right here, and as opposed to like whoosh,
Yeah,
like
the
a
hair,
troll
the
dog.
hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another funny thing. I don't know. Vash always kind of just reminded me of Naruto, like as a character, just because like the food thing. I know that's like an anime trope, but he's like one of the first ones I remember having that anime trope, where it's just like all he gives a fuck about is eating. He'll just go somewhere to eat. And then another fucking random thing. I love that every episode, the cat that has nothing to do with the story just walks across the frame at one point in every single episode of the show. Another thing that just stole my heart.
I forgot about the random cat.
Yeah.
Is a cat in the pilot?
I think so. It's just a black cat. It's just a black cat that like that'll just show up on the screen and go away, and it does that every episode. So it's like following them.
It's like their little stamp of uniqueness.
Yeah.
Does the cat turn out to be like a villain or something?
No, it's just a cat.
No, it's literally just there for flavor. That's it. It's like it's only there when you pay attention to it.
Yeah, I didn't even notice because
it's in the intro. I think it like runs across the screen.
When Tony said that, I was like, "Cat."
Watch.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, there is a cat."
Watch this like Trigun. Was it side stories about the cat? It's just his traveling.
Good stuff. Josh, I know we've all been saying a lot, but what did you have? I'm curious what you think about it, Josh. Episode 26.
I feel like episode 26 was very confusing. I didn't know what was going on. It seemed like the half the planet was decimated or something, and then there was some kid. Episode 1 made a lot more sense to me. I was like, oh, this is the show. And then I like the bounty hunter. He kind of like remind me of the Clint Eastwood, like
Oh, the guy with the the white machine gun.
Yeah, the one with the hat.
Like hat, like the blonde hair.
It's like with the rifle that was switching.
Yeah. I liked that character design and how he sounded. It sounded like just like a classic bounty hunter from like a spaghetti western, basically. So I got those vibes. Yeah, the main character. What's the main character's name? The blonde guy.
Vash the Stampede.
I thought you said Badge, man.
I mean, it might be Badge.
Oh no. So Vash, yeah. I obviously want to know more about his character. Like this, I'm just going off the pilot and off of half of episode 26, which I didn't know what was happening. I do want to know more about his backstory and kind of like what makes him tick, because like obviously from the first episode I don't really get the grasp of his whole character and kind of what he's about. But obviously you probably figure that out throughout the series. So I'd probably give it a watch. I'd probably watch an episode, another one. I'm not a big anime guy, as everyone probably can tell. So it takes me a little bit to get into this stuff. So I'll give it another go. I did watch Spy Family. I watched that. I watched the second season. So that's just something.
He's all caught up.
Yeah.
Anime is one of those things, Josh. You find what you like, and even if you stick with it, that's fine. You like what you like. You don't what you don't.
Yeah, I like that Lupin. What was it called?
Yeah, Lupin the Third.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I want to watch more of that. I was into that. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's like I wouldn't. It's kind of weird calling anime a genre, but I guess it is a genre. It's like more of an art style. That's like almost calling like all 2D animation like its own genre, I guess. Which I guess they do have a category for best animated picture, which kind of doesn't make any sense, especially like when you have movies like Anomalisa, like very avant-garde art films like competing against a Pixar film. So I almost feel like they should be like in separate subjects of their own. But that's like how the Oscars work. It's pretty ridiculous, but yeah, it's just how I feel. But yeah, the show was good.
That was good. I was really curious because I know you're not really big into anime like me and Matt and Tony are. So it's like whenever we have a recommendation, I'm like, I wonder if he's like, oh, I thought this was kind of cool. It's not my cup of tea, but I like what it came to the table and offered as far as a few episodes or maybe a movie.
Yeah, I would probably watch a couple more episodes. I think at some point I do want to recommend an anime of my own, but it'll be something I haven't seen. But I just heard good things about specific anime that I do want to see. I have interest in some. I don't know. It's not like something I'm gonna put on every day, but that's just how I am.
Okay.
So, Tony, should we do final thoughts?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Final thoughts, everybody. I guess we can start from Jerry and go back this way.
Perfect. I was gonna jump right in anyway. I'm glad you read my mind, Tony. So for me, like I have a lot of nostalgia with this because this is one of those animes me and my brother like watched together. Like, yeah, we watched a lot of shows together as kids and teens and everything. But this was, like how you have that one show that you watch with a family member that just always is like, boom, like that's one, like it's a weird show, but that's always our show.
Right.
Like, and this is one of them. And like going back and remembering what animation, first introduced us to and seeing, how much effort that they put in back then. And they still put in a lot of effort now, but back then it was a different kind of effort because, drawing and deadlines back then were a lot more tight than they are now. But this was great. I'm happy that we got to go back and watch this. I'll probably go back and watch it after I clear out a couple other things on my watch list. I definitely recommend this again. I plan on watching the remake just to see like what changes they make after I watch the original. But it's a fun watch. I enjoyed this a lot.
I guess we'll go to me. We'll just kind of go in order from the other way. I kind of said all my thoughts. I think I'm gonna continue on and watch episode 2 of the new series, and then I'll watch the third episode on the old series, and then I'll flip flop that way. And then I think they connect. They coincide that way. I think you're able to watch it like that.
I think that'll work.
I think that's what the creators. That's how the creators.
And then
teach
like
the
after
show.
episode 6, you just watch Badlands Rumble, and then you just start reading the book.
Right. Well, you got to watch it backwards.
And then you have to play the video game, but only like the 5th level.
Yeah, and then you play Dark Side of the Moon at the same time you watch the show, and it like all seamlessly.
Tony,
connects.
stop feeding this man. Just stop it.
I basically said my thoughts, so
Okay.
I give it a 7 out of 10, I guess.
Okay.
For now, yeah, it was 7.
Matt,
go.
I am gonna go. Give me a second, all right?
Are you starting?
No.
What?
No.
Are you playing with Scoob?
No Scoob. I wish I had Sophie, but Sophie ain't here either. She's downstairs.
You have Salix?
No, you have Salix. No, but with this, I actually enjoyed it. I give it a good I'm gonna give it a good 8 out of 10 because I enjoyed it. I like the old style of like the artwork and everything. And I got it caught me, and I got I watched at least another 3 episodes I should have, and I tried out the new series just to see because it's only one episode at this moment dubbed to me right now that I can just compare the first episodes really, and I can see they're really really different of where they're going with the new one to the old one, and I kind of like the old one a lot better, and how I I like the new age stuff, but the older animation is a lot better to me. Like it gives me a better vibes, and it kind of feels like more like just a better presence, and like it give you like better like emotions out of it instead of just like weird CGI face stuff that happens with it. But that's really it. Like I kind of wish I do like I do like his little gag with the gun. He's never has it properly loaded, or it's just he never like shoots it at all. It's mostly him dodging bullets, than him actually shooting. And I really don't understand like how he's the cause of a lot of the damage when he's just avoiding fucking everything.
I think that's
There's
like
a
super
big
funny.
reason behind that.
Okay,
His gun is a mouse tool he saves for later.
okay. But I like no, like I already said, like it caught my eye, so I'm probably gonna keep watching the original series for a bit and see where it takes me. So I'm happy with it. Thank you, Tony, for introducing me to this.
No problem. Yeah, I'll wrap it up with this then. I don't know. Basically what I already said. Like this kind of was my first anime ever, and it took me a while to get through, and I finally got into it, and it made me realize this. I feel like this is built like a lot of '90s anime. Nice lifesavers, Josh. But I don't know. I really like the way that the story the story just builds over time to a point where it's just like boom. I think as a pilot episode, it's all right, but as a show, it's great. I just wanted to introduce the conversation to the show, and I'm glad that people enjoyed it and are interested in watching more or have watched more. But yeah, I would say a 7 for the pilot and a 9 or 10 for the show as a whole. But anyway, that's our conversation about Trigun. We're gonna go to our main event here.
The next episode we watch is gonna be Vash barking like a dog butt ass naked.
I don't know. I cannot find that.
It's gonna happen, and you're gonna be like, "Son of a bitch, he was."
Yeah, that's in the later half of episode 26 that I did.
Oh, really?
That's when I turned it off.
Okay.
I knew it. I was
right. What's happening?
So I recommend everyone to start with episode 26. And
Stop! We did this already, dude. We did this, Jigger. We did it. We did it. Let's go on, Tony. Go.
All right, Tony.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be moving on to our main event, which is Good Time, which is written and directed, I believe both by the Safdie brothers, starring Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe it's Benny. Benny's one of the brothers of the duo. They also did
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems,
which I just found out today. I didn't realize that was
amazing movie. I think I'm gonna hand this one off to Josh.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. So Good Time is a movie that's a good time. It's
that's it, guys. Let's go.
I'm gonna grab a White Claw while you do this.
Okay. So it's basically Robert Pattinson is like a piece of shit who takes advantage of his brother who has a mental handicap. Basically, he uses his brother to go and have a bank, and he takes him out of this mental to help him with his ailments. He takes him out, basically forces him to rob a bank with him. And the bank goes awry. His brother runs through a glass pane window. The cops catch him. He gets arrested. His brother doesn't want to reveal any information about Robert Pattinson's character, about his brother. They're looking for Robert Pattinson, and then a lot of crazy hijinks ensues. Robert Pattinson ends up trying to break out his brother, thinking that he's hospitalized, but ends up it's not his brother, it's some other guy. And then he goes to this kind family's household and takes advantage of the family, takes advantage of his daughter in more than one way. And then they find a warehouse full of acid at a theme park carnival ride thing. And then it continues on. It gets crazier and crazier as the movie goes on.
It's a roller coaster.
I don't want to reveal everything right now, but that's basically the movie. It just escalates.
No,
and gets crazier and
the
crazier.
movie does escalate. Like,
It does.
escalates so fast.
It's a roller coaster. It just doesn't like. It just keeps going up and down. You never know when it's gonna fucking stop. Like, like it picks up speed and slows down for a bit, and then like goes. What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't know Robert Pattinson sung in the same key as R. Kelly in A minor.
Oh,
Oh man, that's pretty good.
Okay, for context, that's just in the movie.
Oh,
yeah,
that's just in the movie.
In the movie,
yeah, Connie, not Robert Pattinson.
Connie.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh my gosh. Oh, so I gotta ask you. Okay, that actress in the movie who plays the minor, like, how old was she when they made the movie? Because she does look like she's 16, but I'm assuming she's 18 when they filmed it. Because she's.
I know she's currently like 24. And when did this movie come out? 2017?
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, so she would have been like. My math to brain turned off. Crispy, do math.
Crispy does not do math.
Yeah, that's 18, 19. Something like that.
So I think she just turned 18. So she does look younger, and they're like, together for a hot second. That it doesn't get anywhere past I guess first or second base. But it was still
weird.
Odd moment.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would skip past that scene, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary to show like how much of a creep he is and like how he's just
he was pretty
benefit from
he will do like anything for self-preservation.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't feel.
And then you think he actually cares about his brother, but he really doesn't. It's just he just wants to use it.
It's weird. Like his creep factor got really high once he got to that house for me. For me, I was like, all right, he kind of has this weird, creepy vibe, but like once he got in the house and then he just started searching throughout the house and he started doing the things with the granddaughter, I was like, all right, man, where the fuck are we going with you now, man?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought he was gonna, assault her.
And what?
Because he went and rummaged through their bathroom, used their hair product.
Yeah.
Which, that could have been expired and he could have had all his hair follicles burned off. And he'd just be a bald piece of shit.
Instead he's a blonde piece of shit.
Yeah.
I was like, throughout this whole movie, I was really more concerned about the younger brother the whole time. I was not I'm like, I want him out now. Like, it kind of pissed me off that the younger brother's in jail. It really kind of pissed me off. And like, I felt so bad. Me a lot. That was my upset for the whole movie. I'm like, this guy. I'm not gonna lie. Connie has the best of fucking luck somehow with whatever the fuck he's doing because he gets out of the situations. And I'm like, what the fuck? You should have been in like caught like here. No, I'm like, how did you get this far in the movie without actually getting taken properly down? Like until we get to the end here of the movie.
Yeah, he's like Zac Efron in World's Greatest Beer Run.
Oh God, yeah, true.
Because
he did.
He got lucky at every.
He got lucky. He did. But Zac Efron's character wasn't a complete douchebag.
He was just an idiot.
Well, the thing about this that it felt like is like in the beginning, it's like, oh shit, like I don't agree that he got like he skates by, like he pushes it to like maybe an hour later he's getting in trouble, maybe 12 times in a row. Like all that happens in one night, and it just becomes so unmanageable. Every time he turns on the TV, he sees his own face. It's like I think he's really not like you're like, oh, how did he skate by in this situation? But like I feel like one of the cool things is like you can tell like he's just like, oh my fucking god, I'm so fucked. Like the entire
you can see it in his face every time.
You can see that the whole
like
time.
The news came on, and then that's when he's
news came on. He's like, fuck, they've got my face out here broadcasting me. I got to go get to get a face off like John Travolta.
Yeah, that's when he's making out with the minor, like trying to Tony was self-preservation, just so she wouldn't watch television. And then he escalates it, like he's like, all right, well, from this bar, I'm gonna go in bed with her. And the guy who
he convinces her to fucking steal her grandmother's car. And I'm like, your grandmother told you don't talk to this strange man.
Yeah.
And now here you are about to just give it up because, I'm not. She obviously had like a bad boy fetish. And it was like, oh, he's this mysterious dude. I don't know shit about him. He's, a strong adult and I'm an impressionable child and whatnot. And for me, I think Robert Pattinson is a great actor. I liked him in this movie. He definitely made me hate his character, which I was hoping he did, because I'm like, he was, for what he did to his, his mentally challenged younger brother, I'm like, you fucking scumbag. I almost turned the movie off and quit.
I did too, almost.
like that's just always something that bothers me. But it was like, I know this is just a movie. I got to calm down. But it's like at every turn, it was like he was putting the blame on everybody else, but accepting his own. Like, because you really see it when the younger brother's in jail and he's on like the payphone and he's yelling at the grandma like, "You don't love me, Connie loves me. You're just a piece of shit, and you've always been trying to take advantage of me and control me." And then the dude behind him was like, "Sir, please," and he was nice. He was like, "Please, can you hurry on the payphone? Others have to make a phone call." And he just snaps at him like, "I'm on the phone with my fucking grandma." And I'm like, "Whoa, hold on. You can see how Connie has rubbed off on him."
Oh yeah. I think he eventually gets the realization that he was taken advantage of, like at the very last scene.
Yeah, that's the end. That was.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it was fine. Like I completely agree because I have some strong feelings about like the final scene with the younger brother, but I'm gonna wait to get into that because there's a lot that also happens in between that to me just made absolutely no fucking sense. Like when he broke into the hospital and got that dude.
Oh God!
The stranger out of the room that he thought was his brother. No fucking fashion is that even feasible? Because the amount of nurses at a station, because the second you get up and leave a room, they're like, "Where are you going, sir? Sir, excuse me." Sir. They're flagging you down.
Yeah.
They're hitting the fucking button like, security, we need to detain this mysterious man. And I'm like, how? There's no way. Because if you can break out of a hospital, you're a fucking genius.
Yeah, I did think they were going to react earlier. Especially like when the monitor's like beeping, like when it's like, I don't know, armchair car or whatever it's called. And then gets the handcuffs and like wheels him away. The guy who he thinks is his brother, who's not his brother. Which I think he might have been that guy. I think that was my favorite character because he's just
I love him.
Put in this situation.
He's like a booze bag, but he's like, I know I'm fucked, but I admit that I'm fucked.
That's true. And Robert Pattinson couldn't. Well, Connie couldn't own up to it. Like he's actually like trying to sit down and like go like, I'm not going to judge you. Look at me. Look at my face. I'm not going to judge you. Like, how much time are you going to be in for? And he's just trying to have a heart-to-heart, like, real conversation because this is the only person he could even have a conversation with. And then he, like, completely, like, backslaps him, like, gives him, and, like, just judges him, makes him out to be, like, lower than he is, even though I think it's the opposite effect. He was wrapped up in this situation. He didn't want to be in this situation either. And I think if he actually like worked with this guy and they were like allies in like the at the same level. I think everything could have been so much smoothly.
Been
like
way different.
there wouldn't. I don't think the cops would have been called because the dog wouldn't have been in the hallway, like eating at at the I don't even know what the guy who the guy's name is.
We just called him the guy because that's what he was.
Well,
I identified more with him than Kanye because he got wrapped up in some trouble. He was out on parole, and then he was like, I fucked up. I can't believe I made this mistake. And then he, so maybe Tony, you can answer this one. So were the pills that he gave him the grandmother's sleeping pills, or were they actual painkillers?
They're supposed to be the Oxycontins.
I don't remember. I don't know.
See, I took an Oxy when I had my really bad wreck 5 years ago, and those Oxys kick in fast.
The guy was eating them like. The guy was like eating them.
Like candy.
Yeah, he just kept on going.
Doing anything,
I think the
granddaughter he kept saying that these painkillers aren't doing anything. I'm like, okay, so either he's just has a strong tolerance from still being hopped up on, these other hallucinogens, or his body's just rejecting it.
I'm not gonna lie, he was taking so many of those oxys and drinking.
He should have died.
He should have died. Like with the
he should have OD'd. When he picked up the fucking Douce from that dude's apartment, he should have died.
Oh,
because he was still popping them.
Yeah, he kept on just eating them throughout the whole scene. Like I'm like, when he's like, dude, I can't lift my arm, my shoulder. I'm like, dude, you're on like 8 or 10 fucking pills of oxy. You should be fine. Technically, you shouldn't be moving. Technically, at this point, but
I've seen junkies outrun physically fit cops on 3 oxys, and they're going on a steep incline down a hill, and they're like the fucking wind. They just go. They were gone, and I'm like, how? Because those cops weren't like overweight or anything, but I could tell they hit the gym 4 times a week.
Now you mentioned the cops. Now I'm going to bring up the cops in the beginning, though. You can see how cops are utilizing the cop cars more than actually chasing their criminals in this one, because like they just darted after him. The other cop is like probably like 50 feet behind them, hustling as fast as he fucking can, but he can't catch up to them. That was freaking funny. Until freaking the little brother ends up breaking through the freaking window door. That's when they catch him. Because that's the only person they were really chasing was the little brother. Because Connie was just out. Because he chose a different route.
And the cops were absolutely useless. Because
they were.
If there's a bank robbery, the first thing that they're going to do is shut down the city. And they're going to post up every possible police officer or law enforcement agent at every single street that they can. They're getting the horse cops. They're getting the bike cops. They're getting the cops on the fucking the scooters.
Oh God, the mall cops.
And like they're getting every single police officer possible, especially considering the fact he also like activated the dye gas.
The dye gas, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have him on film going in. That was like a Domino's or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, they went in Domino's.
Yeah.
They went in there and they cleaned
I thought
up.
It was Domino's.
But I don't believe you can wash off that dye.
No, you can't. It's supposed to.
Nah, yeah.
It's supposed to taste
it's supposed to have like a special like solution, like specifically made for each dye.
That was one thing that was bothering me when I was watching this. I'm like, how do they wash that off? Because that was not meant to like come off of you until like maybe days later when it dries up properly or whatever.
Domino's is known to have that.
Shut up.
In their skull.
Yeah.
And then like Josh. But then like
I thought it was funny that the bail bondsman took the dyed money. He like just did not care. He's just like running it through the money counter. He's like that scummy. He's like whatever.
Yeah, the bail bondsman was another issue for me because he's like, all right, he's running it through the cash machine, which is also illegal for him to have. He's not supposed to have that.
Exactly. That's why I thought it was so funny. He did not give a shit. He's like,
the only people who are allowed to own those are banks. And if you own one, you're doing some shady business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like how Tony said, the fact he kept the fucking dye-soaked money and said, you want that money? The money that's in my safe, my money, you're not getting that back. And he kept saying, like, oh, I'm cutting you a deal. Get me 10 G's, and I'm getting your brother out right now. And I'm like, how are you cutting him a deal? Like, you're a bondsman. If
you're doing your job.
He needs the $10,000, if his brother's bond is $10,000, all he has to do is come up with is like 10%, which is like $1,000. But if his brother's bond is like 100,000, there's no way that he's gonna be able to get $10,000 overnight unless he calls in a favor from some rich asshole in upper fucking Manhattan.
Well, he tried using his girlfriend.
He tried by using that girl.
Yeah.
But even she seemed fucking sketch. Because you saw how she was just like yelling back and forth with her mom.
She had some mental issues.
Something, man.
There's obviously some mental issues.
I think she was she was a recovering addict because she was like, real twitchy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she might have, or she might just have, something wrong with her.
I think
like she just was really like, into the head, like hitting her head and just going from like highs and lows to talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. No, I promise you are so good to me. You help take care of me and all this other stuff. And it was like, what let me solidify Connie as a fucking scumbag and a cuck was when the chick was talking about, are we still going to go on vacation? And he's like, I just told you about my fucking brother being in jail. And I'm like, how did you obviously just use this woman for her money and other services? But Jesus Christ, are you that much of a puss that you can't just be open about it? You have to sneak around like a fucking snake?
Yes.
He makes her feel like the asshole for like even like implying like
with all her feelings. He's like, what about me and my needs, bitch? I need this fucking money to get my mentally challenged brother out of jail so I can go rob another fucking bank.
That's what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to rob another bank or something else to get the money to pay.
Is he going to get the masks again?
To bail him out. Yeah, I mean, he knows where it is. It's in that alleyway.
I've just never hated a movie character so much because everything he did was just absolutely like it's not even the bottom of the barrel. It's the fucking like mold and mildew on the bottom, on the underside of the barrel that never sees the light of day.
Yeah.
It grows and you have like little fucking mushrooms and shit coming.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, oh, man. If I saw that dude in the street, I'd probably fucking deck him one. Because he didn't look that strong to begin with.
Yeah, he hit the face. I mean, Robert Pattinson's a really good actor.
Yeah, great actor. Fantastic. I would see any movie Robert Pattinson's in.
Besides Twilight.
Yeah, I
watched every single Twilight, so I'm ashamed to say that.
Why?
Oh, it was a woman that I was with at the time. She said, "Oh, hey, there's a $20 all-day pass for all the Twilight movies." I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll fucking go!" And I sat there like an idiot and a love-struck cut. Pussy whipped, and I'm like, oh yeah, this movie's fucking awesome. And I only like 2 Twilights. I like Breaking Dawn Part 1, where Bella almost fucking dies, and the Eclipse when fucking she's still on the fucking deep end.
Yeah, the movie where she dies.
Oh God. Yeah, I was so against Robert Pattinson, like, because of those movies, and then Josh just kept on be like, "All right, you gotta watch these movies." And ever since I watched these movies, and I'm like, "All right, I like him. I like him as an actor in these movies." And like, I can push aside the fucking Twilight now. I'm grown up now, because now I can actually see him actually like doing things like Batman, the Lighthouse.
For that Genie movie he did, we can forgive anybody.
Or
yeah,
about that one. We forgive him for the Genie. We're one movie at a time here, fellas. One movie at a time.
I think this movie
on
is the
brand
reason. This movie is the reason I was like, okay, when they announced Pattinson as Batman, I like did not mind. I was like, whatever, cool, I'm with it. Like, this could work.
I can see that. I mean, and this came out before the Lighthouse. Oh, he's a new actor, and then he was announced as Batman. I felt like everyone, like a lot of people, were butthurt about it, and I was like,
yeah,
no,
a lot of people I knew were like, you mean the guy from Twilight? I'm like, have you seen him in anything else? He's a very well-rounded actor. Like, even if you don't think he's that good, you can't deny the man's talent for doing other roles extremely well.
Right, 100%. So yeah, that I felt like a lot of people were.
Like every single person I knew was against it.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah.
So Tony, I have a confession to make. Once again,
what's that?
So when I saw this was an A24 film, I was expecting some like weird plot twist or something to just make the story go fucking on a bend and take a knee. But I need
like his brother's a ghost or some shit.
Yeah, like I was just expecting something. And but this was good. I did like this. A24 films for me, are a hit and a miss.
Yeah, they always are. They're always amazing or just bad shit.
Like this, I might rewatch this one. This movie again. If somebody said, oh hey, they're putting Good Times back in theaters, and I've never seen it, I'd be like, it's a good movie. I'll go see it with
you. Yeah, no, I like it a lot. It is good. It's good on repeat viewing. This is like one of my favorites because I was just like, what the fuck is happening the entire time?
Did you watch this when it first came out, Tony?
No, I watched it on Netflix a couple of years later, maybe like 2020.
Okay.
Another thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was like super interesting, like just where they fucking feed the security guard acid.
Yeah, that's
like,
oh my god.
When that security, they should have been able to tell that dude was a security guard because obviously Robert Pattinson sounded nothing like him.
Yeah, that's what I.
So it should have been like, that's not quite right. Who is this gentleman?
I was wondering if that was like a social commentary too, just like how.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that maybe too.
Yeah.
Like if I was that security guard, I would be, well, number one, I'm leaving that job because that shit was awful. I got the fucking shit knocked out of me by this random asshole fucking hopped up on no sleep. He didn't sleep not one time.
No.
So like he's on 100% adrenaline and exhaustion for the whole movie. And then this other random asshole who's just beat the fuck up like he just got out of the ring with Mike Tyson pours this mysterious seeing juice down my throat, and I'm choking and I'm fucking freaking the fuck out. I'm gonna sue somebody, and I'm gonna find the guy who poured it down his the acid down his mouth. He ended up fucking falling off the roof and died.
Yeah, he died.
I'm sad he died, but I'm like, that's your own fault for being a fucking mook. You shouldn't have been out here trying to peddle drugs, take other people's liquor, and, just be an all-around bad person. Actions have consequences.
No, he definitely deserved it. I think that's the character I kind of like most identified with. I guess like I thought I too, just because it seemed like he was kind of like in the wrong place at the wrong time, but he did fuck up in his past. Like, he was trying to do better, but obviously he didn't. So he's gonna end up in the same place regardless.
I really like
what happened What happened the second that he, got somewhere? He started boozing and using like a fucking degenerate.
Yeah, so
Because
like,
who goes in somebody else's house and the first thing they do is go raid their fucking fridge and cabinet for beverages and food? That's scummy.
Mm.
If somebody did that to me, I think I'd take the meat cleaver and cut their hand off. Honestly.
Damn.
That's serious.
Yeah, I mean, that just upsets me. I'm like, you fucking scumbag. Who just does that? There's no, especially since you done assaulted and well, you didn't date rape him, but you fucking drugged him, so he's not in his right mind for however long he might be, because he ingested a lot of acid. He might be fucking fucked up the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't know the repercussions you can take like that.
Yeah.
Because it was like he poured it for like what, a good 10, 15 seconds.
And a droplet is like what a normal dosage would be.
And he was just like,
yeah.
He just fucking waterboarded him to death. Like, it was, if I was those EMTs, the second he started freaking out, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and get the taser. We got to put him down. He's too far gone.
God.
Yeah, I'm curious what the aftermath with the whole movie was like after it ended. Like, what happened to that security guard? Where obviously Robert Pattinson's in jail now.
Where he belongs, like a fucking animal.
Yeah. Like, and also what happened to that underage girl? What happened with her? Like, I'm sure her story.
I think she would have got off kind of, not so much with the slap on the wrist, but as easy as you could for a minor, because she could have pinned the whole thing on Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, exactly.
Connie, and then it was like he coerced me. Once a child says an adult coerced me into something, then it's like, okay, we can't really go too far, because it's not like she did anything particularly illegal, outside of taking your grandmother's car keys.
Yeah, and plus, like, they arrested him, and like your grandmother would have realized that he wouldn't realize that too. So I'm sure she's like, oh, whatever they had on her, regardless.
And another thing,
if he was
I'm from the South, and in the South we say God bless you a lot, because in the South Jesus is king. How he used God bless you to win that woman's favor and essentially turn her child into a delinquent. I'm just like, okay, I know people have done some crazy things like with religions and cults and whatnot, but you're just trying to use this child to the fullest of your advantage, from having her steal your grandmother's car, to also just shoving your fucking tongue as far down her throat as you can get before you start cleaning her fucking stomach lining. You are the worst piece of shit, because you cut off. You see, she already had a very medically attentive and family member who needed constant care. And then here you are like, excuse me, ma'am, is it all right if we get on before you? It's freezing cold outside. My brother doesn't have a jacket. And, it's just so cold. And she's like, you know what? Yes, go ahead. And he's like, oh, God bless you. You have such a pure soul. God bless you. And he just keeps doing that same shit. I would have choked the hell out of him. But you come up to my house talking about some, can I use your phone? There's a payphone 3 blocks that way, sucker. Start walking. I don't give a fuck if it's cold.
Yeah.
Like, he
I know. Wait, what?
No, he's just oh my God. I've never been this upset unless it's an awful movie. And his character was just awful. Movie I thought was, pretty good. I just hated his character.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in prison, I would beat the fuck out of him. Like every day, I would give him black eyes and bruises until he couldn't see.
I think that's kind of the point of the movie, though. Like you're supposed to like see that the protagonist of the film is really the bad guy, and you're kind of with him a little bit in the beginning, and then he slowly gets worse and more into the
Yeah.
But they're like, I didn't know what this movie was. Honestly, like this is a movie I do want to see. The only thing I heard about it was there was a talk show with Robert Pattinson and Pete Davidson was like in the same panel for some reason. And Pete Davidson's like, "Oh, you were in Good Time. That movie's fucking awesome." And I was like, "Oh man." Oh, now I want to watch that. So that was like the only reason like I heard about the movie and I wanted to watch it because Pete Davidson's like, "Oh, that movie's fucking great," and like Robert Pattinson's there, like on the panel. I just thought it was funny, I was like, "Okay,
that is funny.
I'll watch it." So that's the only thing I knew about the movie. No, I'm glad I went into it blind, like didn't know anything about it. The TV trailer, I didn't read anything about it.
Like I've never heard of this movie until Tony recommended it.
True.
I thought he was talking to. I'm gonna be honest. I thought he was talking about the show Good Times, and I'm like, that's weird. Why are we watching the show Good Times? I was like, that'll work. I've seen some episodes.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching it.
That sitcom from like what the 80s or whatever that was.
I told Crispy, I'm like, are we supposed to be watching the sitcom for this?
No,
I was getting ready to start watching it.
I had to look. I looked everything up for. I'm like, I remember Tony talking about Robert Pattinson. I'm like, all right, I gotta find something that says Robert Pattinson before. Because you type in Good Time and like Good Times shows up from the 80s, and I'm like, that's not the right thing. That's not the right thing.
That's funny. Maybe I should have recommended that for the show instead of Trigun.
More that would actually have been pretty funny if you did.
So different.
I would have been like, okay, we're gonna watch the sitcom Good Times from the 80s and Good Time from 2017.
Yeah, I have another idea down the line. If I ever get another episode that's similar with some naming shenanigans. I think
Tony, you're more than welcome to come for as many episodes.
True.
Yeah,
down the line, I got an idea. I know some of you are gonna hate the movie, but it's a good movie.
We're gonna hate the movie, but it's a good movie.
That scares but intrigues me.
Yeah.
I like this plan.
Just the comments you made about A24 movies.
That's something
very
that
much
Crispy would say, and I'm very
I like this
scared.
plan. I like it.
Shut up.
No.
And then,
the comments you said about A24 movies made me think you would fucking hate this.
Oh god.
But that's beside the. It's not Lamp, but that's besides the point. We can talk about that in a few months or whatever. Whatever you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, another thing about this movie I really liked. I thought the music was fire. I love the synths. The synths.
Oh yeah.
I did really enjoy the musical pieces and sound effects. Like it took me for a trip because I felt like I was watching what was that movie? Freedom Riders. Like you know how in Freedom Riders, they had they play some of the old school hip hop, with like Rebirth of Slick and just like a couple of other like instrumental pieces. It reminded me a lot of that. Because the scenes in which they played it were some of the most like emotional, or it just got you riled up in a way, And I was like, man, this reminds me of fucking Freedom Riders, because I remember all this crazy shit happening. The music would come on like right after like oh somebody's had a bad run in, or somebody that had some good character development, fell back to their old habits and whatnot. So I thought I do agree. The music was really good, and I thought they had some interesting choices as well, especially at the end. Because that really took me for a trip, because I wasn't like I didn't dislike the music they used, but I just wasn't expecting like that choice for a song.
The last song was different. Like it was more out of tune to everything we've been getting, but I think it was like kind of like it kind of worked what we got at the end, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like how everything went, but like I agree with that. Everything was pretty good on point with the music at all, but
yeah, it's very unique to the movie. Like I haven't really heard music like this.
And speaking of the end, it took me the whole movie to figure out the title and really understand it. So the doctor talking to the younger brother, because obviously, he's his therapist to help him, sort out, social cues and, like other things it takes him, like a really long time to understand.
mm-hmm.
And he just keeps repeating the phrase like, "Oh, you're going to have a fun time. Like, I think this will be good for you." And he says it repeatedly and repeatedly. And I'm like, is he saying that because he wants him to have a good time? Like, it took me the whole fucking movie before I figured it out. And I'm like, and I'm looking, and I'm like, hold on. This fucking Mark Twain asshole is talking about, you're going to have so much fun in this class. And I'm thinking, and I paused it for a second to look at the title, and I'm like, good time. And that's when it fucking hit. I'm like, this asshole is just saying he's going to have a good time in a simpler way for someone, with that cognitive, impairment to understand.
Okay.
And I just, I wouldn't have pieced it together if I was like, why the fuck is he keep saying this so much? Like, it bothered me.
Yeah, when I was like, right when he says good time, I was like, roll credits in my head. Like, because he's good at time. But no, it makes sense. It was gonna, put it in simple terms for him. Because it didn't look like he was having a good time. He was like, cross the line if you ever been lied to, or if any of your family members took advantage of you, and he's crossing the line. And like, he does not look like he's having a good time.
I have some personal thoughts and feelings on that, but I'm gonna save it for my final thoughts and review because it's a little long.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, like that was like more realization for him. That part, like I think so. He's realizing stuff now. Like it finally started clicking more. That's how it felt.
After because in the beginning it wasn't crossing the line at all, and like.
His family stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's when he was like, "Oh, maybe this did happen,"
I just feel bad for the little brother. He shouldn't have been in that situation.
Like that really did upset me because I have a godson who is he has autism, and I haven't got to see him in a long, long time because just life, and then COVID happened and everything. But it was like, he the last time I saw him, I know it was me. He always picks up on like, my cues of like, okay, I don't mind playing with, we'll play, do some stuff. And then, like, oh, I'm kind of tired of playing. We've been playing for like 40 minutes straight, like an hour straight. And I've been running all over the house, like flipping you, picking you up, tickling you, just doing like all the stuff you like do with a small child. Right. So then it's like, hey, let's just sit down for a minute and just kind of relax and maybe take a nap.
Good.
And it just, it just in my heart that that does bother me a lot because I'm like, I know there's people out there in the world who do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you fucking scumbags. I hope every single person who does that goes to the boiler room in hell right under the shitter.
Yeah.
Right under the shitter. Because this just, that's like taking advantage of someone who's hearing impaired, visually impaired.
Yeah.
Or, someone who, can't talk or anything. You're like, look at this fucking asshole. Yeah, let's go fucking kick him while he's down, knowing he can't scream for help.
Yeah.
But it just, like, that's just my own personal, like, thing. it didn't make me hate the movie or like the movie any more or less, but it's just like it just reignited that flame.
Right.
Funny, so we do.
Yeah, let's do final thoughts. Sorry, I was just thinking. Yeah, final thoughts. Oh, we can go this way now, I guess, because
which way?
From Jerry.
So you gonna go first?
Me to Jerry.
So
yeah.
So you're gonna go first?
Tony's gonna go first.
Tony's going. Shut up, Matt.
No. Actually, no. I gotta end it off because. All right, Jerry, go first. Yeah, you're good point.
Okay, I'll go first. So, like I said before, so something that like how Matt and Josh said with the younger brother, like doing the crossing the line exercise, like it reminded me a lot of the opening scene where he's talking to his therapist and he's doing the word association. And this is going to be completely out of order. But this was something that I just noticed and picked up on. But it was like how they both said, like once he kind of started to understand the point of the exercise, he would be like, okay, I've been lied to, so I'm going to, cross the line. It was, that small step to help him, process and understand like, oh yeah, these bad things have been happening to me. Like I've been doing some bad things against my own will because someone told me like this is the right thing to do. And then like in the beginning with the word association, he the therapist was helping him piece together like, you hurt your grandmother, when he was talking about, the frying pan and like it hurt. And he asked him, well, like, did you hurt yourself? Like, did you burn your hand on the frying pan? He's like, no, if you get hit, pick up a frying pan and I threw it against the wall because my grandma was yelling at me. And then you could kind of see the lights in his eye, like, oh, like this is what's like he was starting to piece it together before fucking that piece of shit Connie busted in. Was like, you're not gonna treat him like he's, everybody else. He knows what he knows right from wrong. He can make his own decisions. He can make his own choices. And then, like again, like I said at the end, the teacher in the room said, like, this is your own free will. Like you can choose to cross the line if you want, or you can keep it a secret to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once he started crossing the line, he started to, well, obviously, everyone else in the class has been doing that exercise more because they were, walking back and forth pretty freely. But I think they did it for him to just show him like, hey, it's okay to open up about some things that happened that you were against. Because you could tell, like when they were robbing the bank, he didn't want to do it,
He wanted out.
He wanted to, not be there because he, like when he was talking about with the mask, like, I can't breathe. Get the mask off. And then I thought that was something that was very well executed. I thought that was very interesting to do as well. Connie, we've said so much about Connie. I've said so much about Connie. This is not just me being pissed off at a movie character. Robert Pattinson played his role as Connie very good. He showed the good, the bad, the ugly, and the truth that some people in the world just have, incredible luck. And sometimes it runs out right when they think they still have, they can make the most of it. I like this movie a lot. Like I said before, it's an A24 film, so sometimes they're hit and misses. I'd give this one a solid 8. I think this was very, very good. It, I wouldn't have recast anyone. I wouldn't have changed a single thing. Maybe outside of like a few common sense things, like, okay, you just walked into this mysterious room and you're taking a dude out in the wheelchair. Let's get you gone. Especially like the scene before when he's fucking drinking from the old lady's applesauce cup like some kind of filthy fucking creature. Who does?
That was creepy.
That
was creep. Awful. That was a creep.
And then he feeds her that.
Like the creep son of a bitch. But it, this movie as a whole, it'll like if you don't think you can relate to it, you'll be able to relate to it in some type of fashion. And I just happen to relate to the whole fucking movie because, God, I'm seething in a rage right now thinking about punching Connie's face. Like, and it's nothing against Tony. Like I said, I did enjoy the movie, but there's a lot in this movie that I was not expecting to be as good as it was. I'd recommend this movie to somebody. If they want a good A24 film, this was it. I'm glad Tony recommended. I'm give you a clap on that one. That was awesome.
All right, I guess I'm gonna go. So good time was a good time.
Oh my God!
Go again.
Can't make that joke twice, man.
Oh my Jesus!
He did a callback to himself. It's a callback to himself. Damn it!
I'm done.
Why?
What are you gonna rate it, Josh?
Magnificent.
8 out of 10. I 8 out of 10.
Okay, so it's me now.
The only thing I want to add is I felt bad for the dog. You know, I felt bad for like every character he interacted with in the aftermath. You know, of like he made every character that he encountered life worse. Like every single character, he made their life worse.
Oh yeah,
everyone.
Absolutely.
He didn't benefit any person at all, even the dog. And then I was thinking, I'm like, what are they gonna do with the dog? The dog's like running rampant in the hallway. Are the cops just gonna shoot it? You know? And then I was like thinking, I was just thinking about that dog the whole time. Like, they better not kill that dog. And who knows? They probably did kill that dog. All right.
Oh my God! And that's like the billion message. They better find that fucking dog. I hope they didn't shoot that fucking. Oh no!
Yeah, I was pissed. He ruined every person he encountered.
No, definitely.
Even the Domino's pizza guy, he got paint on their ceiling.
Domino's.
He used their bathroom when they were yelling at him not to.
Yeah, you know that was like the part where I was like, would Domino's really give a fuck if you go in their bathroom? I'm like, yeah.
If you were in like a ritzy Domino's, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it should have been, like a fancy restaurant, like a fucking 5-star restaurant, and then he just barges in like that. I think that would have been funnier, actually. And it would have been funnier.
Have him bust into an Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like Tavern on the Green or something. Like he's like at some fancy fucking place. He's like he barges in. You know,
have him barrel through a fucking Ruth Chris.
Yeah. And then like he's getting paint on everyone's dress and shit. Like
oh God.
And he's knocking over $3,000 wine bottles. Like, hey buddy,
right, yeah.
Hey, open the fucking door.
I gotta use the bathroom. And then that would make sense if they're like knocking on the door.
Slaps the fucking.
That was the one part.
Oh, God.
That was the one part that was unrealistic. Was the Domino's employees give a shit?
They took their job seriously.
All right, that's all I had to say.
Oh my God. All right, so it's me. So I'm gonna give this, like, I'm in the same ballpark. I'm gonna give it like probably like an 8.5. It's a really good movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's it's roller coaster. It's throughout the whole thing. So like, I never knew what the fuck was gonna happen next. I was expecting like something way different than this, including like the spot where he steals like the little brother out of the hospital. Like, when they found out it's the wrong guy, I thought it was the guy that the little brother beat the shit out of in freaking when he's being held in the captive at the moment.
Oh.
Like it's like just being held up in there. But like I thought that's the guy, and I'm like, is that the guy? Until we got more lighting, I'm like, that's not the guy anymore.
Oh, that was just some random dude. That was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it was a random guy also, and like I like Jerry with this whole like the mentally handicapped thing, and them using. I have like the same feel with that too. So like, Like I don't like it. It's like not a good. That's not a salt. It's not like a good spot for me. Like I have family members that have problems and stuff, so like it kind of like fucks me up a little bit seeing that, and like that kind of happened kind of in my household, like with other people with with him, with my uncle when it's some of his friends and shit when he was growing up. So it was kind of weird. It was kind of fucking weird seeing it happening here. Another person just getting abused. And I'm like, that was kind of like the same shit. But it was like I don't know. It's just like this movie was. Other than that, the movie was great. Connie was a douchebag. It was like it. He was Robert Pattinson did his job to make that guy a scumbag, and I'm like, I just every moment he just got worse. We can't get off of this subject, and like the one thing that kind of annoyed, like the bank robbery, kind of screwed me up too because he should have knew better when he said, "Get the rest out of out of the vault" to the lady, and the lady's like, "Okay." He should have knew that she was gonna put a freaking ink dye in the like the grenade in his bag, and not like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you the money so you don't shoot us up. Here's the money." Like, no, she's gonna set you up for fucking failure. And seeing it going off in the car, I'm like, I was not expecting them to do the hazardness that they did with the car scene because they took out the actual car they're driving, they took out the car they crashed into, and then fucked up another car that's in the lineup. It was more like it was a more severe accident than it was just like in other movies, the car would fucking stop and all of them would get out of the car coughing and shit, and a car may hit the freaking back of their car and they just run away like idiots. Like if it was a standard movie, but like, and this is just like this was more real. They tried to be as most real as they could be in this movie setting than I was expecting because it was supposed like to me it was like with certain things he got away with. It wasn't realistic, but they tried to give it that realistic like feel to you. Like this is how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And they did that very well. They tried really well with that for me. So I was like, this is pretty good. And like, God, Connie, you're just a
Now that
you
you
can't
mentioned
get over it.
the car accident, who was their driver? Do you know, Tony, who that guy was?
I have no idea.
It was supposed to be a friend, like a friend that was picking them up because he called them. God damn it. Yeah, like there's a guy they called that probably is a friend of Connie's that was supposed to pick them up, and then everything went haywire when the fucking ink grenade went off, and you're just like, oh shit. But yeah, I don't know. To me, I give it like an 8.5. I would recommend this to somebody if they're like looking for some kind of like crazy eccentric kind of like movie that's like will take them many places. Jerry, where the hell did you go? Jerry, come back.
Got me.
No. Jerry, you turned black.
Tony, you want
I will close this out. Sorry, I was looking at this site called The Numbers. I was like very curious. I kind of caught down a rabbit hole of the money that this movie made and whatnot. But
this movie,
yeah, no, I love this movie. I watched it randomly on Netflix. I'd heard great things about it. And I watched it on Netflix and I loved it. I think it just ramps up so crazy and it's just so intense. So you do not know what's gonna happen next. You're like, oh, like it's just so insane. In the beginning, you're like, yeah, Connie's like a piece of shit, but like he just slowly becomes more and more irredeemable throughout the movie.
Yeah,
you can't redeem him.
Yeah, I love that you have the Sprite bottle too. That's on theme of the movie.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's cool.
I wasn't even thinking about it.
Dirty Sprite.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I think all the characters and actors are really great. I think the Safdie brothers are sick as fuck. I think if you guys like this, Uncut Gems is amazing, especially as like a sports fan. I love that movie.
That's been on my list. I have to watch that. That's been on my list.
If you don't know anything about that, it's like this, but with sports gambling and what's his name? Josh.
Squid Game?
No. It's like sports gambling, but it's like this, but with sports gambling. Like this kind of just insane, like it does not stop, non-stop insanity. Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Oh, I think I have seen like an ad for that one. Okay.
It's a great one. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, I definitely cannot wait to see like more movies they put out. I would give this like a 9 or a 10, probably a 9. I really like all the actor they just fucking kidnap. Like I just love his where he just tells his backstory. I love his New York accent.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I don't know, just I don't even know what he's saying, but he's just like, you fucking asshole. I just love it. It's just everything about the movie. It's just like iconic.
I could have been a contender.
Yes, I could have class. But yeah, 9 out of 10. We did watch that.
9 out of 10. Okay. So Matt,
picks are next.
What?
Matt, is it your picks? Are you ready?
Yeah, I just want to bring up something here. We didn't mention this when we were talking about the Domino's thing. Big Booty Danny says, "Bro, we came in to go past the glass windows at the Domino's here." Now, what?
So down here, like the Domino's is like lobby, huge glass pane. That's it. The only bathroom is in the back for the employees, and that's behind a locked door.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's how it is for the one that's in my town too, because we only have a giant pane of glass and it's a small Domino's, so it's like barely any walk room anyway. So like you can just go in, you order, and you sit in the corner until your pizza's ready.
The Domino's I went to, their barrier is like a big slice of pizza, and then they have the glass behind.
Want to slap you?
Hilarious. 10 out of 10. So Matt, what are your picks? What are you making us watch? What piece of shit is this? Because I know you're going to give us something fucking stupid.
Well, for the short, I'm going with
JoJo's shitty alligator movie last night.
Okay. I like Matt's first pick. I heard part of it.
Wait, what was it? What was it?
This is why I want you to come back, Tony. Including you brought I want to go with JoJo Bizarre Adventures, New York. It's gonna be Hold on, let me remember the title properly here. And it's gonna be New York's JoJo. It's episode 10 in season 1, technically on Netflix, but as part 2's like first episode. Jerry, you okay?
What's the movie?
It's gonna be the movie Fury. It's a tank movie that came out with Brad Pitt. Okay,
that's the Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Yeah,
I watched a little bit of Fury.
Is Shia LaBeouf in that too?
Yes.
Yes, Shia LaBeouf's in it.
God.
Okay, I'll take it. Well, that's good. That's good. Oh, I just remembered. I forgot to mention this in my outro. This is why I was googling things. Good Time had a budget of between $2 to $4 million, which I thought was insane. That's very cheap. Yeah.
Jeez, I know a lot of that went into the camera work.
Probably, yeah.
Because they had some fucking bangers on some of those camera shots, especially like in the car scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I would say even from the whole when they're in the apartment area when they're filming from there. Doing that, I think some of the scenes, I think of them running around, just getting away. At least that was some decent shots they had.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I was excited to see Fury because of the cast, and then I realized that the director and writer is David Ayer, also known as the director of Suicide Squad. The worst movies ever made.
Oh god!
Oh no! Oh, he did
Josh always finds a way to kill me with my pick.
So I mean,
Fuck it. We're off for 2 weeks, guys.
He did Training
Whoever's
Day
next.
and The Boy.
Who's next?
No, I mean,
secondly?
it did win awards. It did win awards. It's a movie I actually.
Fuck it. Fuck it. No, I'm gonna get a shot down for my pick. Josh, what's next for you? What's your picks?
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Hey Tony, is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I'm trying to think. How can someone else lead the outro?
No, you gotta.
You have to do it.
I don't remember it. I know it's.
Just say anything.
Just say what you gotta say.
Anything goes
So
on your episode, Tony.
So this has been Batyards' finest. Up and away. And
Hey, you
something
said
else
mine.
there.
No, I don't know what to say. Fuck.
I'm Superman's pal, Matt.
Well, I'm gonna say what I fucking. All right.
Say what you always say.
Josh, Batyards' finest, sending you up and away until next Batyards' finest episode. So I'm eating.
And this is Jerry guiding you all with Green Lantern's light until we become super pals.
One
episode at a time?
episode at a time.
Wow, that was flawless, guys.
That was great.
Bye.
See
Good
ya.
night.
Good night.